You're listening to your Morning Monarchy. It is a Food World Order Wednesday. We try, good God, and make this the positive day where, you can actually make the changes in your life, as I've joked for 19 years. I tried boycotting Raytheon, but they never cared. You try boycotting the food companies, and they will definitely care. Now, Fiddlesticks has got to go to a meeting. We will continue to kick ass as long as you keep kicking ass, Fiddlesticks. Big love and thanks to you. We've met in real life multiple times. That's the difference of the Media Monarchy Kingdom. You know what else is the difference? The Mounsey Minute. Yeah, buddy. This is the 5th installment of our buddy Gavin Mounsey's monthly segment here in the Media Monarchy Kingdom. And I believe it was last month I was feeling down. It was like all this. I'm sick of doing Media Monarchy. I don't want to talk about any of this anymore. I'm not making any change. I don't give a shit. And our buddy Sean, Incognegro, says, you might feel down and like you're not doing shit, but things like the Mounsey Minute prove otherwise. And that makes me feel good. I'm stoked to have Gavin Mounsey doing this. 30 reasons to make your own sauerkraut and include a daily forkful in your diet and a basic recipe from his book, Recipes for Reciprocity, for you to make at home, gavinmounsey.substack.com. And there's the good pictures, too. Preserved cabbage looks simple, and the process to make raw cabbage into sauerkraut is quite simple, but the health benefits are not simple. They are off the charts. There's Castbots right there in the chat. Raw, wild, fermented sauerkraut packed with antioxidants, enzymes, probiotic bacteria, and a diverse range of vitamins and minerals. Cabbages are cheap if you don't grow them yourself, and via the simple act of turning cabbage into kraut, you can unlock a very long list of health benefits and flavor. And I had it written right here in my notes. Castbot just made her first batch, and it is awesome. And our buddy Gavin Mounsey reaching out more and more. The revolution will involve fermented cabbage. So does that go in the reference to our throwing unhomogenized milk into the bay? The revolution will involve, raw milk and fermented cabbage. Edward Slavsquat has a conversation with Gavin Mounsey. I know that is one of Corbett's faves. And Edward Slavsquat notes, Gavin, your blog, Recipes for Reciprocity, which is also the name of his physical cookbook. A lovely oasis floating in the vast cesspool that we call the internet. But why do you insist on writing about the joys of making sauerkraut instead of patiently explaining why we should unconditionally support our benevolent and caring governments? It seems to me that your preoccupation with fermented cabbage is covertly seditious.
This is Gavin Mounsey for Media Monarchy. I'm author of Recipes for Reciprocity, the regenerative way from seed to table, and this is the Mounsey Minute. This month, I'm going to be talking about two of my favorite things, sauerkraut and kimchi. I have two separate articles on Substack that shares my recipe for basic sauerkraut, as well as my recipe for what I call garden chi, which is our basic kimchi made with seasonal ingredients. One of the main things that makes eating sauerkraut so powerful for increasing your health is the fact that sauerkraut is a living food. It contains probiotic organisms that are going to help you get a lot more out of all the other food because you're increasing the microflora in your gut. In our area, a tiny 250 milliliter jar of unpasteurized sauerkraut or kimchi cost about $10, 7 on sale. That means that if you combine a single large cabbage with a little bit of salt and some elbow grease and a little bit of patience, you can increase the value of a cabbage from $3 to $4 to $150 worth of kraut or chi. That's a 3,650% increase in value in less than a week. As I mentioned before, some people get into the supplement quick fix syndrome where they think they can buy everything off Amazon and get the same health benefits as real food, but in reality, when you eat 1 tablespoon of sauerkraut made at home, that equals an entire bottle of probiotic pills. And you're not getting the same diversity in the probiotic pills as you are in the wild fermented sauerkraut. So there's a huge difference in the quality of something as simple as fermenting a cabbage versus buying that lab-made stuff. Eating sauerkraut not only improves your gut bacteria, but can improve your brain function. Now, one of the reasons for that is that many of the neurotransmitters that help your brain function in an optimal way are actually produced in your gut. So when you have healthy microflora in your gut, you're producing more of the building blocks that help your brain run well. Another part of that is related to the detoxification benefits that are offered by sauerkraut, which I'll touch on in a minute. Eating raw sauerkraut helps detox the body in several ways. One of the most important ways it helps is to remove heavy metals from the body. Sulfur-rich vegetables like cabbage, especially when fermented, help pull out heavy metals from your bloodstream like aluminum and mercury, and other ones that are included in the stratospheric aerosol engineering programs. They also help inactivate and detox glyphosate or Roundup out of your body, which is huge. which helps tie into last week because you can actually use things you could forage, such as yarrow or pine needles, to make some really awesome next-level medicinal sauerkraut. A while back, I did an interview with Riley Wagaman, aka Edward Slavsquat, that he titled, "The Revolution Will Involve Fermented Cabbage." So for a little taste of the flavor of that interview, I'll read his intro and my first response. Riley started by saying, "Gavin, your blog is a lovely oasis floating in the vast cesspool we call internet. But why do you insist on writing about the joys of making sauerkraut, instead of patiently explaining why we should unconditionally support our benevolent and caring governments? It seems to me that your preoccupation with fermented cabbage is covertly seditious." I responded by saying, "Regarding my seditious sauerkraut educational endeavors, I like to empower everyday people all over the planet to take back control of their health and their access to food. And I find that low-tech, nutrient-dense preserves, which include things like fermented cabbage, serves both those functions beautifully. Being able to take seasonal vegetable, fruit, and herb abundances, whether they are grown in one's garden, foraged for from the forest, field, or purchased, and not only preserve them using low-tech tools, but also increase their nutritional value and flavor through a process like lactofermentation, liberates an individual from the infantilizing role of being a consumer while simultaneously increasing one's health sovereignty. Now, when it comes to kimchi, it provides all the same health benefits that sauerkraut does, with the added benefits of the other ingredients that are included in kimchi. It's great when you make it at home because sometimes the stuff either sold in the stores is either packed full of MSG or other weird chemicals, or they use a lot of fish sauce in it and it can result in a kind of fishy flavor. So if you make it at home, you can adjust it to your own personal tastes and have the amazing health benefits as well as the diverse applications in the kitchen. Kimchi offers a great opportunity to use seasonal foraged ingredients like ramps or hosta shoots, and I like to go all out with some of my nutrient-dense herbs from the garden and make recipes such as the fiery purple dragon chi, which is included in my book, and another one called golden dragon chi, which is a turmeric-rich and golden beet-infused kimchi. Now you're going to find variations in recipes. I used to use a lot more salt in mine when I was paranoid about the bad germs. But nowadays I find that using 2 to 4 teaspoons of salt per cabbage is pretty much all I need. And then I vary my ingredients based around that. I bruise up the cabbage and the other ingredients real good until I can squeeze them in my fist and the juice pours out. Shove them in a jar, press them down until all the air is excluded, weigh them down, and you wait and you got yourself some sauerkraut. Okay, that's it for me this month, guys. I hope this inspires some of you to get out there and make a jar of chi or kraut. Happy fermenting, everyone.
Mounsey Minute, Episode 5, Shout About Sauerkraut. Big, huge love and thanks to our man, Gavin Mounsey. He is doing the Lord's work, and we have been including a standalone MP3 link so you can save just the Mounsey Minute and maybe not have to have one of your family members wade through the horribleness of a morning monarchy. We will also include the Garden Chi recipe, hot peppers for health, exploring the many health benefits of hot peppers, especially when fermented, as is the case with kimchi. The generosity of ginger, exploring the health benefits of ginger, especially when fermented, as is the case with kimchi. And yes, the purple dragon chi recipe. And one last tasty treat for you here as part of your Mounsey Minute, your cover art. Huge thanks to my man Hybrid for creating cover art for bands that for now only exist in the Media Monarchy kingdom. That is Gavin Mounsey's A Daily Forkful. Garlic seasoned sauerkraut with pepper is probably Hybrid's favorite. Yeah, my mom's listening to the Mounsey Minute. She certainly can't listen to all the filth and swears and Israel hating on your morning monarchy, but with the standalone MP3 link that Gavin is posting to social media, that's getting the word out. Big, huge love and thanks. And really, it's one of those foods for me that was always only ever made fun of on TV. Ooh, garlic stinks. Ooh, gross sauerkraut. All that shit. And then you realize, oh, they make fun of the most healthy things. So I first had sauerkraut at my college cafeteria. I was like, yeah, give me some of that. I kind of got into it and got it every time they had it on the line. I like to mix in my mashed taters with it. Now, Casbot was cultured and thought that the college cafeteria sucked. I was sheltered and thought it was awesome. Have you had sauerkraut before? Oh my God, this is egg salad? Nom, nom, nom. Alexa friend and I ate acid and went to the cafeteria to taste things. He was eating things just for the texture, mouthfeel, we now know that as, while I was walking around eating a bowl of cereal like I was at home. What were we talking about? Shouting about sauerkraut. We will also include the link to your previous Mounsey Minute, Eating Weeds. You are listening to Your Morning Monarchy, and I have a little note right here in my notes, and I read it a couple of times throughout this episode. Be nicer.